Madam Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and most honored guests. It was a sunny, hot day, and Johnny and her friends decided to go swimming. When Johnny dove into the murky water, she hit her head on a rock and broke her neck. There she hung in the water, unable to move her arms to reach for the surface. She couldn't make her legs to propel herself upward. If one of her friends hadn't seen her and rescued her, she would have drowned. In a second, she had become a quadriplegic, not being able to move anything lower than her shoulders. She was 17 years of age. George has diabetes and very hard to control blood sugar levels. The wild fluctuations between the dangerous highs and the coma-inducing lows had resulted in many hospitalizations and damage to his body. Amy was a young woman suffering from neuralgia, which is an inflammation of the nerve endings of the head and neck. Even the slightest breeze across her skin could cause excruciating pain. How would you react in any of these situations? Well, you could rant and rave about the injustice of it all. You could mourn and lament over the change of lifestyle. You could turn quite nasty to your caregivers. Or you could actually go into a deep depression over the things that would no longer be. All of these reactions are really quite normal. But what's important is what you do after you stop feeling sorry for yourself. So the first thing is to accept what you cannot change. You cannot turn back the hands of time no matter how much you would wish to. Now, I knew a lady who had had a mild stroke, and it left her just slightly disfigured. That was the only damage that was done. But because her appearance was so important to her, all she wanted to do was die. And she asked everybody that she met to help her do so, in spite of the fact that she had a very caring, loving, supportive husband. You see, some people never get to the point of accepting what is. Secondly, attitude. Now there is something that you do have a choice about. Now I knew a man who had a very severe, untreated infection. And it wasn't until a neighbor saw what condition he was in that he got rushed to hospital. He's very lucky, very fortunate to be alive today. But he chooses to complain about his situation, about his living arrangements, and about the care that he's getting. He has made that choice. His attitude is his own. Now, when Johnny, our quadriplegic, decided to accept her situation and develop a positive attitude, some lovely things started to happen. She discovered she had an artistic ability that she didn't know that she had. When George decided to be positive, he went out and started a business and was able to provide employment for other people. Amy opened up her heart to abandoned children and provided a home for them where they could get the love that they needed. And that wasn't all. Johnny went on and became an inspirational speaker, encouraging many people. I've known George for nearly 40 years, and in that time, I have never heard him make one complaint. And that's true. Not one complaint, although he had plenty to complain about, because to this point, he has lost a leg to gangrene, most of his sight, and at present, his heart and lungs are in life-threatening condition. Amy, besides loving her children, at one point later on, had a very severe accident and was confined to bed for the last 20 years of her life. It didn't stop her. She wrote books and poems which have been a comfort to people worldwide. These people, for me, have become role models because when they stopped focusing on themselves, they turned to helping others. Now, I would hope that nothing like these situations would happen to you, but reality says that there are very few people that get through life without some kind of trouble. I would think that maybe now would be a good time to decide how you would react when your turn comes. Acceptance is a very good start. Attitude is what makes life worthwhile from there on in. Be positive rather than negative. And then act. Find something to do. Better still, find something to do that will help other people. And who knows, in this whole process, you may turn out to be an encouraging role model too. Thank you.